Hi, I'm Elvire from the Dimitrov Boulet Piano Duo, and today I want to talk to you about motivating your child to practice. I know a lot of parents struggle with this, and I hope that these tips will help you out. So I think what really helps motivate your child to practice is to not only say that they have to go behind the piano, but actually to jump behind the piano with them. So I have a lot of parents that kind of make it a joint activity where they can have fun together. So try to find the time to make it at least twice a week a joint activity. That will help your child also the rest of the days of the week to try to see it more as something fun and to go behind the piano themselves. So when you've done that and you've taken an interest and you're trying to help your child practice, try to let go of results. We nowadays tend to be pretty result oriented, and generally that's actually not only for our children but also for ourselves, very often blocking progress. When you're very focused on results, you can easily get frustrated that you're not fast enough, that you're not smart enough. And if you're frustrated with these kinds of things, remember your child will also learn to be frustrated when they're not getting it fast enough, because let's be honest, in piano playing there's a lot of challenges to overcome, and those challenges don't come just like that. They need a lot of practice over time. So trying to let go of results, I think, will, by the way, not only benefit your child's learning process, will also benefit you in life. So try to focus on the process. Try to focus on having fun in the process of practicing. It's not only about getting everything right. It's not only about getting it. It's about just doing it, because with practice comes improvement. And when you let go of results, you'll also notice that you will become more patient. I think what children need, and actually what everybody needs when they're learning, is patience. The patience to think, the patience to draw your own conclusions. When you let go of results and have more patience, you can focus more on the process. You can, for example, if the assignment for that week is to learn the keys, to learn where the C is, instead of showing your child where the C is, make it a fun game, focus on the process, try to find the C together. And I think what is difficult sometimes for parents is to not say it, because for them it's so obvious, right? A little tip for me, what always helps me, because you can imagine how many times I've explained to a child what the C is throughout my career. It's in the thousands. I'm sure I've repeated this thousands of times. What always helps for me to be patient and to approach it as something new is to remember something that week that I've tried to learn, for example, a very difficult piece that I've been struggling with, and with that attitude, remembering how difficult that was, trying to explain and approach the child. So for your child, even though it might be obvious to you that yes, the C is here, don't you see that? Even though it might be obvious to you, for the child, it really isn't. You know, the first time, I remember the very first time that I had to learn the name of the keys, I thought it was impossible. I thought it was a big sea of white, and I just really couldn't see it. And it took a long time for me to really get to know the keys. So just try to approach everything in piano playing, no matter how obvious it is to you, try to approach it with the attitude of something that you've learned that week that was really difficult for you, something at work perhaps that you were struggling with. Remember that feeling. That's the feeling your child has when they're trying to learn something new. So that might help you be patient. I use it to be sure that I have the right attitude towards my students. So as you're noticing, a lot of these tips are just focused around participation, positive, patient participation, focused on the process, focused on having fun together behind the piano, to try to associate fun with the piano. That doesn't mean fool around, fool around a bit. That doesn't mean completely ignore the homework set. It just means don't be super result oriented, and make sure that getting behind the piano and doing your 15 minutes, for example, that's the most important part of it. Because from there, everything will grow. You'll see that once that becomes less of an issue, once that becomes easier and easier, then you can build on that. It will grow naturally. So the first thing is participation, patience, and positivity. So one more thing that you can do in order to participate and to also have fun yourself is to ask your teacher or your child's teacher to write a very simple accompaniment for you. I do this sometimes for my parents. Not my parents, the parents of my students. I do this sometimes, something really, really easy, because the thing is, it doesn't need to sound amazing. It can just be very simple just notes, like if your child is playing a song, you just play 5 notes even with him or her. That's enough, but the fact that you're playing with them, you'll see it will motivate them so much. You'll have a lot of fun together. So that's something that you can ask your teacher. Is there anything that I can play that will sound good? And honestly, most likely they'd be very, very thrilled that you'd want to participate. So they'll write something for you, I'm sure. Finally, I think that we should all remember that learning new things can be frustrating and can be hard. And to be honest, for me, it still is sometimes, you know, whenever I have to figure something out, something new, like for example, editing videos a few years ago when I had to do that for the first time. It was very, very frustrating and everything went very, very slow. Everything was a big struggle. But when you practice consistently, when you do something consistently, you get better at it. So I think that we should remember that learning new things can be hard, but even if your child does not want to pursue piano playing any further, practicing with your child and learning to learn will give them such a benefits in life. So I hope this video was useful to you. I really hope it helped. And thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, if you want to hear us playing, because we upload there a lot. If you want to hear Dimitar's music, he composes beautiful music. You can listen to that. So thanks so much for watching, Dimitar, and I will see you next week.